Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a family has filed a wrongful death suit more than 1 year after Amber Spradlin was found dead. And yesterday, 10 fallen officers were honored in eastern Kentucky.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 5:30 on Wednesday, June 5th. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Mace Michaels for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Passing showers in the area this morning. Some raindrops moving through the region. Temperatures are in the 60s. The showers have wrapped up for the moment here, at least in Hazard, moving away from us. But of course, roadways are a little wet and cloud covers hanging around. 3/4 mile visibility in Harlan and around 1 3/4 miles in Pikeville due to some foggy areas and some of the passing showers. It's a warmer morning, though, with lots of 60-degree readings and even as warm as 72 as you start the day around Middlesboro. We're beginning the day with, again, some of those showers moving east, passed through Hazard and Harlan over the last few hours, along with Jackson. Now a shower or two east of Norton and west of Emory, north of the Tri-Cities. Other showers for those of you around Pikeville and a few sprinkles towards Moorhead and north of Ashland. Forecast through the day today, well, this won't be our only area of rain. We'll get a break around midday with more showers and storms likely for later this afternoon. High temperatures on up into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Olivia?
All right, Mace, thank you. A recent wrongful death lawsuit unveils startling allegations in the case of Amber Spradlin's death in Floyd County. It comes as we approach the 1-year anniversary of the murder that shocked people in Prestonsburg. The Lexington Herald Leader reports Michael McKinney Jr., the son of an eastern Kentucky business owner, is accused in the lawsuit of fatally stabbing Spradlin and obstructing the investigation. But it is important to note nobody is facing charges in this case and no arrests have been made. The incident occurred at the home of Michael McKinney Sr., a dentist and restaurant owner. The lawsuit also implicates other current and former local officials and public agencies, citing negligence and mishandling of 911 dispatch services. Filed by Melissa Sammons, the lawsuit seeks compensation for Spradlin's estate and punitive damages. 2 people are dead after a crash involving an ambulance in Buchanan County, Virginia. It happened around 5 on Tuesday evening on Route 460, about a half a mile from the intersection with Rocklick Road. Police say the ambulance was hit by a vehicle after it crossed the center line. The driver and passenger in that vehicle died at the scene. The driver, passenger, and patient in the ambulance were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No names have been released. We begin with continuing coverage of a story we have been following since last week. A Clay County inmate that escaped from work release is back behind bars. A Clay County inmate, the sheriff says 20-year-old Skylar Hubbard was found near Upper Raider Road. He is now facing additional charges. Hubbard walked away from a work site near the Beech Creek Apartments last Thursday. A Clay County man is accused of assaulting a first responder. Police and EMS responded to a complaint about a man causing problems in a home early Monday morning. Police say 38-year-old Joshua Stapleton of Manchester told police he, quote, wanted a preacher and had been up for 2 days. Police say he later hit a first responder and kept banging his head against a cruiser window when he was arrested. He is facing several charges. A man who police say ran off after a crash in Wayne County, West Virginia, is now behind bars. The sheriff says Arlen Hodge was arrested on Tuesday morning near Fort Gay. The crash happened on US 52 near Bromley Ridge. The sheriff says drugs and a handgun were found in the vehicle after the crash. Powell County animal shelter officials say they are dealing with another severe neglect case. And we warn you, this video may be hard to watch. Powell County animal shelter officials posted this video on Facebook. They say this dog is deaf, malnourished, and in serious need of medical care. The sheriff's department is investigating. Animal shelter officials say foster or rescue help is welcomed. A ceremony yesterday at EKU in Richmond honored 10 fallen law enforcement officers in Kentucky. For 24 years, the state has met yearly to honor officers who have fallen in the line of duty. A memorial included the names of 589 Kentucky officers who lost their lives. Officials say it's a symbol that's crucial to the daily routines of the Department of Criminal Justice Training.
Every day begins and ends with our staff and students passing by this memorial and paying it the reverence that it deserves.
Among those honored was Scott County Deputy Caleb Conley. He was shot and killed during a traffic stop 1 year ago. Kentucky's new vehicle registration system was rolled out in January. Clerks' offices across the state saw long lines and delays. Now lawmakers are hearing from the Transportation Cabinet about improvements made in the last 5 months. As Kelsey Soto shows us, there are still kinks to be worked out.
It was the largest technology modernization in state history. More than 250 million vehicle records have been transferred from Avis to Cavis.
A lot of surrounding states are no longer doing rebuilt titles, so we get a lot of business from external. So you see 120% increase in the last 5 years and about a 65% increase just last year.
Most of the problems now are connected to rebuilt titles. What should be a 5 or 7 day turnaround is taking 6 weeks.
Rebuilt titles are much more complex. They require receipts and pictures, and some of you may be more familiar with rebuilts than others, but we want to make sure those vehicles are built back correctly and safely before they're put out on the road.
KYTC says they're still working on a backlog from March. Lawmakers testify their constituents are beyond frustrated.
I think all of us in here, we hear from these rebuilders quite frequently.
Yeah.
You know, there's people's livelihoods at stake here.
One taxpayer in London says his business is affected and he's left holding the bag.
And these aren't, cheap vehicles by any means. This guy here, he has several 2021 Chevy trucks, and he's actually having to buy these vehicles back. So it's affecting his business, affecting his cash flow. 4
new employees have been hired for the department to help them get caught up. Legislators recommend extending hours to try and fix the gap.
I think we need to really redouble our efforts. If it's taken 3 days or 2 days to get 3 days work, the private sector, we work doing 2 days work in 1 day.
In Frankfort, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
For previous coverage of the news system, you can visit WYMT.com. And we are learning new information from Frankfort. FEMA has approved more than $1 million for the Perry County Board of Education to reimburse it for its response during the July 2022 flood. The money will be used to help replace furniture, school books, computers, and more. The University of Pikeville is relocating the plans for its Tanner College of Dental Medicine. Originally, the school announced plans to open the school expansion in the former Appalachian News Express building, but architects say the vision for the school would be better built from the ground up. So instead of demolishing a building, the college is building a new structure on its campus in the parking lot next to the Health Professions Education building.
The board thought, it's nice to have medicine, and then of course the Record Memorial Building that houses music and the arts, and then Optometry College and the Dental College. All 3 of the big schools have clinics in them, and so it'll be a nice addition to downtown Pikeville.
The university now has plans to use the former News Express building for a planned medical school class expansion. Officials with ARH and Hazard and Perry County community members gathered yesterday for an open house at the Hazard ARH Psychiatric Center, which covers 21 counties in the Commonwealth. Senate President Robert Stiver, State Representative Chris Fugit, Perry County Judge Executive Scott Alexander, and Hazard Mayor Happy Montbellini were just a few people in attendance. ARH President and CEO Holly Harris says it is exciting to see people come together for one project.
To see a project like this recovery mall come to light is truly amazing, and just first-class services that we're now able to offer right here locally. And like you said, not just for Perry County, but for all 21 counties that we serve throughout the region.
Harris says it is their goal as Appalachian Regional Healthcare to not only provide high-quality physical health care, but also mental health care. The treatment mall is open from 8:30 to 6:30 Monday through Friday. And here in the Commonwealth, the Kentucky River District Health Department is planning a free online seminar titled Tools to Save Your Kid from Social Media and Video Game Addiction. The seminar is scheduled for next Thursday at 6 p.m. Nationally recognized counselor Dwight Bain will be the keynote speaker. Health Education Director with KRDHD Susan Kincaid says they have 100 spots available and it will be beneficial for parents with kids always looking at their screens.
Just the lack of social skills. And whenever they isolate away in their bedroom for hours and hours and hours, they aren't learning how to communicate with others, and they're not learning how to shake that hand and give eye contact and be confident. We're trying to save the lives of our youth.
Kincaid says anyone is welcome, from parents and teachers to even teens. Registration is now open. You can find more information and a link to register in the WYMT News app. And when we return, one of the world's most famous action stars is changing scenery, switching theater for a concert.
Raindrops moving through the area this morning, some passing showers. We'll see more and more of them throughout the day. Full forecast is next.